Hello, welcome to my tiny little tube. My name is Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's kind of like my therapy. I just have these talks. I get stuff off my chest. I get stuff out of my head. It reduces the power of things. It makes them smaller. So, hey, get out of here. It's been a high energy day around here today. It started out pretty chill. What did I do today? I gotta think about what did I do. I woke up about 5 o'clock. Hi, Stanley! Right on time, Stanley. Woke up about 5 o'clock this morning and I had this inclination to look up my birth chart from a different site. Because different sites focus on different things and have different interpretations. I looked one up and I took some screenshots. And these are stuff I'd never heard before, but they are very accurate. And I highly encourage people to get in your birth chart. It gives you a roadmap to yourself, really. On the potential energies, you know. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses, our positives and our negatives. The things that we're supposed to absolve in this incarnation. Hopefully without trying to incur too much more for the next one. But it's all about learning lessons. And if I can't be a good example, I'll be a bad example. Good example of a bad one. So, I kind of struggled a little bit today. And I wasn't even paying attention to the time of year it was or anything. That story's coming up next. But I don't like reading a lot, but this is accurate. These are some of the things that I struggle with on a daily basis sometimes. Doesn't ever last for too long, but you know, it's just like energy. Emotions are energy driven, that ebbs and flows, and even though we have the power to rise above it, sometimes things just suck, man. Sometimes things just suck. I have an ascendant in Cancer and my sun is in Aries. Although I appear to be gentle and soft and am sympathetic towards other people. It says, I'm going to read how they wrote it. I was trying to read it anyway. Although you appear gentle and soft and you are sympathetic towards other people, you are also a warrior, quote. You sometimes feel torn between these two aspects of yourself, the sensitive, tender-hearted, home-loving side, and the assertive, competitive, risk-taking side. Often people who first meet you think that you are a softie, but later find out that you are a person with a strong will and aggressive in pursuing your goals. I've hated that about myself for a long time. I don't anymore, but for a long time, it's my aggression, my energy. You know, but then I see people with the same energy, but if their soul sack fits, if that energy fits in a soul sack that is acceptable to the people around them, then that energy is well received and that person is often embraced. But I'm in this soul sack that people are like, just freaking, I'm like the north end magnet on a north end magnet to some people. I repel them. Most people don't see me. I'm of a frequency. People just ignore me. They just don't even see me. They don't. I went and got I made butter today. I didn't have rubber gloves to wring out the butter and stuff. Stanley's up on his ladder. That's where he likes to hang out. He came in and cuddled for a while this afternoon. We meditated together. It was pretty rad. So I went to Wally World, and usually the exchanges are there pretty friendly, and today was no different. And it's pretty positive. And then on the way home, I was like, well, Mom hasn't had a hamburger in a while, a couple weeks, so I called ahead in an order before I left the Wally World parking lot and got her a small vanilla shake and a hamburger like she likes. And it was like 10 minutes. It took me 2 minutes to get there. So I was like, well, I got about 5 minutes because they said it'd be 10 minutes. It took me 2 minutes to get there. So by the time I got there, I was like, I got a good 8 minutes. I can freaking stand out in this intersection with my sign. The one that says, when has the government ever said anything true? And so I'm standing out there with my sign. Most people, and this is the consensus, this is the second time I've done it, and both times it wasn't very long, but the majority of people just ignore you. They just ignore you. You can stand out there, you say whatever you want. People just ignore you. They don't care. They're just, They're not even curious, right? They're just like, no, that's something different. I can't accept different things. It might disrupt my belief systems, so I just won't look. That's what most people are. And then you have those that are just like appalled. Because those are the ones when they're appalled. Then I turn it around and I show them the side that says fat hog cops don't deserve new trucks. Then they're really appalled. Okay. Today I had my first exchange. There was someone in the turning lane, and a woman rolled down her window. She's all slouched over. She's like, rah, rah, rah. She's all freaking staunchy and freaking spewing something. I was dancing with my sign. I had my music on. I didn't hear what she said. So I went like that, and I was like, ah. And she's like, why don't you go live in a different country? And she was all slurring her voice. Her eyes are all glazed. I'm like, are you drunk? She wasn't driving. She was all slunched over in the seat. I'm like, are you drunk? She's like, are you drunk? I'm like, oh, no. And she's like, yeah, she's all cussing me out. I'm like, God bless. What the fuck? You so mad? You so mad? Because your program... I listened to Astro a little while ago, Astro Financial Forecast. He does a lot of that crypto but stuff like. But I take what you can use and leave the rest, as far as I'm concerned. That's not my reindeer game. But he was like, if you're, he literally said this in his video. If you're in the U.S., leave. That's what he said, because America's Pluto return is coming next year, and America ain't as big as bad as America has been saying. America has been freaking. Uncle Sam got perverted. He freaking couldn't get it up anymore, so he Viagra, and he's just like has to put it everywhere. Uncle Sam got freaking gross, man. See, I always thought Uncle Sam was kind of gross. I did 6 years. I'm a veteran. That's what I was like. The lady's like, why don't you go live in another country? I'm like, I'm a veteran. Doesn't everybody love a veteran? Right? Veterans are accountable. They know even when I was in the Air Force, it was 20 years ago. What was that noise, Luna? 20 years ago tonight, I got a DUI on Offutt Air Force Base. I was the last person in my section that got a DUI that did not kick. I don't know why they didn't kick me out. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure of that. Colonel Egbert, the section freaking commander at the time, he didn't. It happened the night before Veterans Day, and I think it's interesting. I didn't know Veterans Day was tomorrow, but it's like, if I think about it, it's like. Is the way I felt today. If I felt like that 20 years ago, that's why I got drunk. Because that's what I used to do. Is like that was my solution. It would always make me feel better. Always numbed everything. And then it stopped working, and then the consequences start outweighing the benefits to it. And then it occurred to me when I lived in Oregon a couple years ago that if I were to drink, I'm gonna die, and ain't nobody gonna look after Mom. So. This life ain't just about me, and other people start figuring out that once they start figuring out this life just ain't about you either. It's about community and trying. When people need help, man, I get so frustrated. Sometimes I get so frustrated. And this is one of the reasons why. This is, and it makes it sometimes, sometimes it just knowing why something, okay, that makes sense. That. Sometimes getting answers just kind of make you feel better, at least for a little while. You are a person who thrives on challenge, and you often feel that you must battle your own way through life, depending upon no one and nothing but your own strength, intelligence, and courage. You believe in being totally honest, true to oneself and one's own vision and convictions, even if that means standing alone. Honesty, integrity, personal honor, and authenticity are your gods, and you have no sympathy for weakness of character in others. I really don't. I really, really don't. I don't see them. I don't see that frequency. You crave the freedom to do things in your own way, and you work very well independently. Cooperating with others or carrying out others' will is not your style. Not really. I tried it for many, many years. You like to be the chief or to go it alone. I prefer to go it alone. But actually, the older I get, I think it'd be fun to be chief. And just guide and direct. You love action. If others are settling down into a nice, comfortable little rut, then you are always ready to stir things up. Do something new. Make changes or bring in some fresh. That's blood. I don't know. Anyway, routine and sameness are like death to you. It is, and that was one of those days. I was in a day of routine, and I was like, that's why one of the reasons why I went to Wally World this afternoon, just to break up the routine, just to get out of the house. Because I struggle with it, man. I struggle. I got all these ideas and all these things and all the stuff, but at this point in time, until I freaking get my tribe to grow. I'm stay-at-home daughter. You are spontaneous. Oh, I said, wait, I forgot that. Wait, where did the part go? You are not afraid of trying something that's never been done before. And even though you may be seen as a fool, sometimes you also discover, invent, and initiate things that others will later emulate. Taking risk and following your own star are the breath of life for you, and you wilt or get very frustrated and angry if you cannot do this, and that is a very true story. You are spontaneous, impulsive, direct, enthusiastic, and assertive. You believe in the power of positive thinking and power of positive action, and you think of yourself as a strong person, even invincible. I don't think of myself as invincible. You hate being ill in any way or in any way in a position of dependency. Yeah, because it feels good. It feels good to be able to depend on people, man. It feels so. It's the thing is people always freaking get annoyed with me or pissed off or whatever however they think. I don't know. They never fucking tell me, and then it goes away. So it's like, well, that was nice while it lasted. I appreciated it at the time, but I mean, I've never been able to really. I've wanted to freaking rely on people and be like, hey, man, when I need them, it's comforting to be able to rely on people and stuff like that. But what I was talking about when I got that night, I got my DUI. There was like 3 other. It was a long weekend. I'm not gonna tell the whole story. It's kind of boring. But anyway. But a couple other people after me got one too. So they had these signs at all the gates that the base, like, it had been so many days since somebody hadn't got a DUI, and if you got like 30 days, if the base got 30 days without a DUI, then everybody get a day off. Just be mission. Well, you got a lot of time off in the military. Don't let them freaking fool you, man. There's so much slack time, man, and that was 15, 20 years ago when I was in, and it continued to spiral down. It's just like the fast food of freaking, with the higher budget, but only they serve death. They don't serve burgers. They don't serve smiles. They serve bombs and freaking all kind. Oh man, and the last few years. Oh, the new toys. We'll probably get to see what those new toys bring next year. When. I can't believe he said that. If you're in America, leave. I was like, well, I'm in freaking northern New Mexico. It's almost like leaving America. It looks like a third world country because there's freaking garbage all over the place. They get so offended if you call it Taos. because it's Taos. But they have freaking like 3 generations of washers and dryers and garbage all over the place. Cracks me up, man. Anyway. So, oh yeah, that lady at the stoplight, that drunk. And it's like, you walk through, it's weird because I never really paid attention. I never really noticed. And I guess my smeller's getting better too. My sensitives, I'm getting way more in tune with stuff. It's like my eyesight is changing because I'm at that age. I'm almost 50. But at the same time, it's like my other senses are tuning in. And I got really fucking turned off listening to Jessie today. Not anything she said. It's the chat that spoils it, man. I go in there, it's like, or maybe it was yesterday. I'm not finding alignment in this stuff that I used to. And I'm just like, Marge, I guess it's my time to go within. But I was in the chat and it was like, I was like, hey, I'm passing through to give high vibes, And somebody is like, Jessie, is it okay to have your third eye open? Is it okay? And I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. I must be a child of fucking Satan because I have the power of telekinesis, because I have psychic ability. It's all that shit. God gives us this stuff. It's you fucking middle midgets, not you, but them in the chat on Right On Radio that are all, they're all the people in that story with the man in the boat in the flood. Flood's coming. Fire department comes, says, flood's coming. You gotta evacuate. Guy goes, God's gonna save me. Floodwaters rise, boat comes. Flood, you gotta go, dude. No, God's gonna save me. Okay, dude, whatever. Helicopter comes, last chance, man. No, God's gonna save me. Pearly gates, God. What happened? You were gonna save me. What the fuck? Who do you think sent the people to tell you to leave? See? It's that stuff. We're given intuition. People ignore it. And people that don't have it because they're too busy fucking sucking on their Diet Cokes. I got Sprite. I'm no better. I got Sprite and lemonade. I drink a soda like once a week. There are periods that I'll drink, that I'll go through more, but I go through phases. But I'll go months without having a soda. And I don't like the sweet, like all the sugary stuff either. And but like the people that just like consume so much crap, and it makes the retail therapy that is saturating your energy field too. I bought myself a pair of shoes. I haven't bought myself a pair of shoes since I bought a pair of Vans when I went up to Seattle like 4 years ago. And so I was like, I'm gonna buy myself a pair of shoes. So I got a pair of Vans, and they're a half size too small. Sucks. But they're yellow. They're bright yellow. I can grab them. They're pretty cool. I had a pair that they were right size, but I can't find the other one. Hi, Artie. And the other one, the one I did have, my ex, she had a little dog and her dog chewed them up, but they're pretty cool. They're just, see, I like to wear them, get like a half size bigger, so then it's this stuff. It's that crap. Anyway. So yeah, 20 years ago, got to do an ion off at Air Force Base. I couldn't drive on base for a year. I lived in the dorms. I was like 26, 27. It's so weird, man. I just wish I could upload my conscious in here, and then so people could watch it and be like, oh man, that's all the stuff that people say doesn't happen. Usually it's a good rule of thumb. If somebody straight said that doesn't happen, you're probably going to want to look at all the evidence to support that it does. I'm Scorpio Moon. I'm all about reconnaissance. I'm all about looking in that silver lining, looking for that spark in that dark person, or in that really loving, that real bright, the loving lighter, I'm looking for their shadow. I'm always looking for the, what are they not wanting to see? That's why I'm like that's why I was like, I got to go to Walmart, because I'm like, I get frustrated and then I throw tantrums like a freaking child. I don't throw, well, I do. I did throw roll of paper towels. These are the things that, and then I go and I lift weights. I'm like, Marge, you can't act like this. You can't be mad. You can't throw tantrums. Because that's not how people act. And then I go into my bathroom and I did 400 freaking fucking 400 today. When I was really going through some hard energy a couple months ago, I was doing like 6 or 7 sets, and those are 100 apiece. Just like, I can't. I'm not a runner, man. I'm not a runner. I can't go run to get all this stuff out. I guess I could freaking try it. My bike is buried. My bicycle. I went dancing around. I like going for walks and stuff like that. And my feet hurt at the end of the day, but this energy, man, you got to find productive ways to freaking work it out. Tomorrow I committed to myself, tomorrow I'm going to clear off the kitchen table and set up my paint stuff and at least try and paint something. So I get so, art and me, we have a weird relationship. Other people say I'm a good artist, but I just always have ideas of how things could be better, but I can't get my body or my muscles or whatever to exactly make what I see in my mind. And then I get mad because it's not right. It's not what I picture in here. It's not the same. Anyway, so what else happened today? I should go to another country. I'm like, we're already living in China. What are you talking about, man? When people don't stand for something, and that's what I've found, is that mostly people they don't want to bother. They don't want any trouble. My mom was like that. It used to drive me crazy, man. Like, when someone would be in trouble, I'd be like, Mom, call the police. Just no, you get drug inside. Don't, just mind your own business. And you know what's funny? I think she was from around here. And so even though she was taken from this area that I do believe that she was born from around, and then like grew up and raised in like Arizona, and then they moved to California, and she went to high school in Ventura and stuff like that, right? So she wasn't around, but she still had the heart space of which so many people in this area contain. Just don't bother, don't rock the boat, just let the people do whatever the people need to do. And it's just like, oh, but their egos they don't have any self-control, and now things have gone terribly awry in the housing crisis in the local area. And if you look in your local area and other areas around you in their local area, a lot of people are having these same issues, these same struggles, and people are really going to have to I don't know what people are going to have to do. I know what I'm going to have to do. And it just sucks because I always have ideas of new stuff, and they just don't fly. It's not because they're good ideas. It's just because, well, they're good ideas to intelligent people. And if you aren't surrounded by a population of intelligent people, then they're not going to be a good idea now, are they? I've been for years. I mean, they have GIS systems and GPS systems, and there's all kinds of point of sale systems out there, and and there's more and more people homeless, so I have, you put those two together and you can earn some income for people. Maybe at least get them a hotel room every now and again, keep them out of elements. It's going to be a really cold winter. Yeah. Treat them to that. Maybe give them a sleeping bag or something like that. I'm going to get some, go to Big Five and get a few bags of heavy socks. hand those out. Those are always welcome for traveling folks. Yeah. And there's people of all ages, man. I'm seeing women in their 70s living out of motorhomes and stuff like that, traveling around, you know? So people that are anchored in their secure, comfortable lives, everybody's going to get a chance, you know? You ever been fearful about what it's going to be like to potentially be homeless? Everybody's going to get their chance. And if it's not in this incarnation, it'll be in the next, and maybe it was in the last. You just don't remember. You know, the interesting part about these huge placements, these huge planetary alignments that happen, is that our spirits remember where it was during the last time these planets are aligning the way that they are. And it was 246 years ago. You listen to different people, it's different time frame, but it's less than 250 years ago. Okay. And so our spirit is remembering, you know, where it was back then. The lineage, whatever your bloodline is, you know, whatever, what was happening with those people back then. And then how many incarnations have you had since that time, you know? And then so your spirit is like having a wake up, oh my gosh. And then it remembers where it was the time before that, the 250 years before that, and then the 250 years before that. But time is funny. So it can also have an idea of foretelling of 250 years in the future, or 500 years, or 750, you know. It's kind of how the universe works. But, because time just doesn't go forward, man. It goes back. What do I do? I had fun in my youth. See, I've been expanding my mind since I was a freaking kid, man. Even before I ever did my first psychedelic. I just always had this imagination. Then once I saw what my eyes could see, the more you can see everywhere. I see people every now and again and say, I was made for this. This spiritual awakening, this ascension. You know, I was made for this. I can relate to that. I'm ready. Whatever comes. Benny did have, we were laying there all laying in the sun, get all zen. And Benny gets he's a Basset Beagle mix, and he gets crusties in the side of his mouth, and he was drooling, and I looked, and it was bloody. It was a little bloody. Usually I get a hot washcloth. I got so many chores I gotta do. It doesn't seem like you just sit around and watch TV, I just hang out. I get an hour during the day that I can reset, hour and a half reset, but the rest of the time I am constantly doing something. You know, whether it's soaking mom's feet, laundry, floor cleaning. Oh, gosh, it's just, I'm not made for, man. Anyway, so Benny had it like a chapped lip, so we freaking cleaned him up, and he's fine. It just startled me because oh God, blood! I handle situations so fine when they happen. It's the after. I had a terrible dream last night. Terrible. It was right when I woke up, and it was. I'm a lucid dreamer too. That's one of the reasons why I woke myself up. It was and I knew it was a dream because Turkey Bird's been gone a couple years. A friend of mine's having her little bird, cockatiel, broke its little foot, so it's in a cast, and so it's that. They're contending with that, and they had their schedule. Now their schedule has changed because the bird can't behave the way she's normally, you know. Anyway, but her bird reminds me a lot of my bird. I had Turkey Bird. Turkey Bird was 23 when he died. He died he didn't make it to the first Christmas. He died 3 days before Christmas. the 2016 when I just moved to Oregon, and I was hard because frickin' he died. It sucked so bad, dude. He died, and I wrapped him in a towel and put him up, and then I like had to let a dog out or something. I came back in, and frickin' Benny had got him, so I had to frickin' pull my dead birds out of frickin' Benny's mouth, you know. It was just trauma. After he had had a stroke or something, and then so I held him for the last couple hours until he took his last breath, and then we'd have to go through that. And I'm a death doula. I help people pass on. But still, it's just like, that just sucked. I got story after story after. It's just, life is hard, man. I look around, people, I'm like, well, God, you really have not had a whole lot of life experience, you know. People just have not had a lot of high life experience, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I value it so much, that I come to a point that I'm more grateful about stuff, you know. And those moments that I do have peace, I embrace those. I embrace those because then it's the next thing. It's the next thing. And go through it. But the thing of it is, I was never like this before those fucking anthrax vaccines. I got 6 of them in 3 months. And they put freaking formaldehyde in them. That alone has been known to cause ALS, and I already have Addison's disease, and nobody ever fucking diagnosed that, man. I need to look at some natural remedies and to see if I can figure out how to take care of that. But I'm just like, I remember hearing Helen Reddy talk about it, about how a lot of times people get it, that when their mom is so stressed out when the baby's in vitro, that the baby literally feeds the mom in support. And that's what I did. I came out and I was 10 months. I was only 6 pounds, 4 ounces. They used to give me a bath in a mixing bowl. And just... my endocrine system was already compromised severely. Then they've determined when I was like 5 years... I had my second glucose tolerance test done by the time I was like 7, 8. That sucked. You know, they said I was allergic to milk, so no sugar, no milk, all growing up. Made Saturday morning cartoons suck. Grape nuts and apple juice. Fucking gross. You know? Always having to watch what I ate, you know? Just no fun, man. Anyway, so I learned how to, have fun in life, even during the crappy stuff, and just try to make the best of it. The only thing is people have gotten so egomaniacal, they just like making things crappy so much for other people that it's not fun. So I'm less inclined to participate in society. It's not fun. It's these people that have no life experience are in these positions designating how things should be for all these other people, and it's not going well. So anyway, Luna, now you want to go outside, huh? I asked you a while ago. I said, Luna, do you want to go outside? And she said, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to go outside now. And then when I doing my talk and I'm a blah blah blah, then Luna's all of a sudden, I'm gonna go outside now. Let's go outside on the